silence recedes to a soft distant hum, and the four walls become a welcoming enclosure. Here in the deepest quiet, the mind finds its clearest voice, unburdened by the demands of others. The long waiting is a period of internal refinement, a chance to gather strength and purpose for the future. Solitude is not empty time, but a fully occupied moment of self-discovery, a deliberate withdrawal to ensure a richer return. Oh, solitude, you are the final necessary stage of the patient wait, the inner sanctuary where true resolve is forged and sustained. You teach us that the anticipation is best managed when we are completely centered, ready to greet the change without dependence or haste. We embrace your quiet walls, trusting the deep peace to prepare us perfectly for the connection that is on its way. The waiting is a profound conversation with the self. Pulse-lit flute enters with a slow, wandering and slightly resonant melody over the unchanging deep guitar rhythm. The sound suggests a soul navigating a quiet, beautiful inner landscape, finding comfort in the silence. The chair is soft, the light is low, and the self is fully present. Every breath is deep, every thought is unhurried. The anxiety of anticipation vanishes when the waiting is reframed as a quiet, essential pause for growth. The time spent alone makes the eventual meeting all the more meaningful, all the more cherished. The quiet commitment to protect this inner space, to draw strength from the deep, self-generated well of peace, trusting the silence to provide all the answers needed for the coming external shift. The patience is a quiet, powerful self-possession. The flute fades away, leaving the intricate, deliberate finger-style guitar pattern to continue its final slow descent. The rhythm becomes softer and softer, the notes eventually dissolving one by one into the absolute, profound quiet, concluding the meditation on the patient, solitary wait. quiet room, every small sound becomes monumental. The turning of a page, the distant traffic, the almost inaudible hum of the electrical current. The world rushes by outside the boundaries of this deep calm. The waiting demands this stillness, a complete halt of unnecessary movement, so that the anticipated sign, when it finally arrives, can be clearly heard and felt. Patience is perfected in the absolute lack of haste. Oh, stillness, you are the cradle of anticipation. The moment the heart slows its pace and the mind clears the clutter here. In the deepest quiet, the future is prepared and the past is settled. This peaceful non-action is the most active form of preparation, ensuring we are ready to greet the change without shock or surprise. The wait is the pause button on a world. Guitar shifts into a complex but very slow and deliberate finger-picking pattern. The notes are played with precision, creating a feeling of profound order within the calm. A brief silence of 2 full beats, followed by a soft, returning melody. We are anchored to the present by this deliberate lack of motion. The dust motes dance in the shaft of sunlight, and we watch their slow, aimless journey, mirroring the flow of time itself. The anxiety of waiting is replaced by the profound comfort of simply being. A quiet acceptance that what is meant to come will arrive in its own perfect timing. The quiet commitment to wait without fidgeting, without pushing the moment, allowing the truth of the situation to unfold naturally, like a flower opening in the early morning light. The quiet strength found in refusal to be rushed. The finger picking slows down, the notes becoming more spaced out, until only the final sustained chord remains. It fades into silence, a perfect, absolute cessation of sound, concluding the peaceful contemplation of the wait. Porcelain rings softly as the spoon taps the side of the cup. Steam rises in a thin, fragrant column, carrying the scent of dry leaves and quiet conversation. This is the sacred hour of the wait, where time is intentionally slowed down, measured not by the clock, but by the gradual cooling of the liquid. We sit in perfect, poised anticipation, waiting for the infusion to deepen, for the conversation to take its natural, unhurried course. Oh, tea time, you are the beautiful, civilized break in the long wait. Small perfect ceremony that centers the soul and calms the restless mind. The warmth in the hand, the clear amber color of the infusion, all serve as anchors in the present moment. We take our time, knowing that true patience is found in the appreciation of these small, deliberate pauses before the next thing happens. The flute takes over the primary melody, performing a flowing, slightly decorative line over the steady rhythmic humming. Now the once who caught the music is elegant and airy, suggesting the light-hearted chatter and gentle steam rising from the cups. The light streams through the cafe window, illuminating the dust motes dancing over the patterned tablecloth. Every moment is absorbed and savored, the waiting for a particular person, a piece of news, or simply the end of the day becomes a gentle, refined pleasure. The anticipation is a soft warmth spreading outward from the center of the chest. The quiet commitment to savor the present, to fully inhabit the quiet luxury of the pause, trusting that the moment of anticipation is not a gap to be endured, but a gift to be utilized for calm and reflection. The patience is steeped in a fragrant calm. Oh, tea time, you are the beautiful, civilized break in the long wait. A small perfect ceremony that centers the soul and calms the restless mind. Trying to catch the almost lost words carried on the quiet draft. Entire room holds its breath for this fragile transmission, this soft, defining message. The waiting here is for clarity, for the quiet moment when the essential information is finally shared. Not in a rush, but in a confidential murmur. The silence around the music is as important as the notes themselves, allowing the delicate sound to travel. Oh, whisper, you are the close, intimate voice of anticipation. The sound that requires absolute stillness and deep attention to be perceived. You prove that the most important things often arrive without fanfare, carried on a light esprit. We wait for your confirmation, trusting the subtle movement of the air to deliver the news we have long prepared for. The patience is rewarded with this soft, defining confidence. The muted trumpet topic performs a smooth, wandering melody, utilizing deep vibrato and slow bend, suggestive of a speaker pausing and gathering their thoughts. The brushes maintain the constant, delicate sizzle, like a persistent, soft pulse. Cafe sounds fade away and a focused bubble of quiet forms around the listener. This is the moment where noise yields to meaning, where the vastness of the weight is contained in a single quiet sound. We are searching for the key phrase, the gentle private cue that tells us the period of expectation is finally drawing to a close. Oh, whisper, you are the close, intimate voice of anticipation, the sound that requires absolute stillness and deep attention to be perceived. You prove that the most important things often arrive without fanfare, carried on the lightest breeze. Trace the condensation with an idle finger, creating temporary vanishing lines. Watching the people rush past, their hurried pace a contrast to the slow, steady rhythm of the one who waits. The glass separates the immediate from the anticipated, holding this quiet moment in a suspended state. Every drop of rain streaking down the pane is a minute passing, a small crystalline tear of time. Oh, window pane, you are the clearer boundary between the now and the not yet, a perfect shield against the hurried world, allowing us to watch the waiting unfold in safety and calm. The view is sharp, the purpose is clear, and the steady tapping outside reminds us that movement, like the water, is always flowing toward a destination. The ukulele shifts to a complex finger-picking pattern, intricate and focused, like the detailed pattern of ice forming on the cold surface. A playful melody that suggests a lauded acceptance of the pause. The reflections in the glass show a room warmed by expectation, a quiet space filled with the scent of coffee and old books. We lean in close, fogging the view with a soft breath, and then watch the fog dissipate, revealing the world outside again. The act of waiting is active, not passive, a deep engagement with the present moment while holding the future in sight. The quiet commitment to observe, to find beauty in the small, repeated actions, the way the light hits the floor. The unchanging view that somehow feels new each time. The patience is built on this appreciation of the static frame. Oh, window pane, you are the clear boundary between the now and the not yet, a perfect shield against the hurried world, allowing us to watch the waiting unfold in safety and calm. The view is sharp, the purpose is clear, and the steady tapping outside reminds us that movement, like the water, is always flowing toward a destination. destination. The slow, inevitable unfolding of a deeply held potential. The bloom is the triumphant end of a long, quiet wait, the beautiful, visible manifestation of patient labor beneath the surface. Watch the tight bud, seemingly unchanging for days, then weeks. But beneath the tough exterior, the energy has been gathering, the color deepening, the structure preparing for its moment of glorious release. The waiting here is for the natural world's final reward, the sudden overwhelming burst of beauty that justifies all the patient unseen effort. This moment is a silent celebration of enduring through the cold and the dark. Oh bloom, you are the vibrant confirmation of the wait's purpose, the proof that time held quietly and steadily leads to an explosive, beautiful change. You are the scent of hope made physical, a delicate yet powerful declaration that the moment has finally arrived. We stand in the light of your opening, knowing that this bright fulfillment was always written into the slow, patient rhythm of the seed. Strings exchange a quick, joyful, complex melody, full of upward movement and bright, clear harmonies. The music swells in intensity, reflecting the sudden surge of life and color. A feeling of gentle, warm sunlight permeates the sound. The cafe window allows us to witness the slow growth of the tiny plant on the sill, a small daily reminder of the power of patient development. The anticipation shifts from the outside world to the internal, quiet miracle of living things. The true joy of the wait is in knowing that the process cannot be rushed, and the final beauty is a direct result of the unhurried preparation. Oh bloom, you are the vibrant confirmation of the wait's purpose, the proof that time held quietly and steadily leads to an explosive, beautiful change. You are the scent of hope made physical, a delicate yet powerful declaration that the moment has finally arrived. We stand quiet commitment to nurture the fragile promise, to wait for the natural destined opening, trusting the internal clock of growth that the most perfect moment will happen on its own schedule. The patience is a gentle watering of the inner seed. The string section repeats the initial warm, ascending motif, soaring to an optimistic height, then slowly receding. The final oboe note is held long and pure, eventually dissolving into the atmosphere, leaving the bright, lasting memory of fulfilled promise. fast, delicate rhythm established by the marimba, mimicking the precise, repetitive tick-tock of gears turning within the mechanism. The sound is dry and highly focused, prelude, the visible, physical manifestation of time passing. The smooth, constant rotation of the hand, an unwavering commit to forward motion. Every tick is a moment gone, every talk is a moment closer. We study the intricate machinery, the tiny brass levers and springs, each playing a crucial, unceasing role in the grand passage of time. The waiting is precise, measured in the tiny, perfect increments that form the minutes. There is comfort in this relentless accuracy. Time cannot be stopped, only experienced fully as it moves. The anticipation is a winding spring, coiling tighter with every revolution of the main gear. Oh, clockwork, you are the beautiful, cold truth of the way. The relentless rhythm beat that promises a transition is always forthcoming. Every movement is calculated, ensuring that the desired moment will arrive exactly when it is meant to. Inside your metallic rhythm, finding assurance in the fixed schedule of the universe. Knowing the final chime is inevitable, an electric piano engaged in a playful, complex contrapuntal melody. Like two gears meshing perfectly, the melody momentarily speeds up, creating a dizzying sense of acceleration before settling back into the steady, unwavering pace. The smooth, polished surface of the case reflects the quiet observer caught in the mesmerizing action of the internal world. The mechanism does not care for our impatience, only for its own perfect eternal function. Our waiting is harmonized with this mechanical ballet, learning that the true joy is in the steady, non-rushed approach to the future. The quiet commitment to the predetermined path, trusting the engineering of the minutes, allowing the precision of the device to instill a calm, calculated patience in the heart, the knowledge that every second is accounted for. The marimba notes become softer and more spaced, the rhythm slow into a profound final tick-tock. The sound of the spring slowly unwinding until a single soft echoing chime resonates and then vanishes, leaving only the memory of the precise movement. A single sustained note hangs in the air, a silence before the world wakes, a deep breath drawn in the velvet dark. The first pale light, a wash of silver across the eastern pane, the gentle creak of the floorboards, an awakening far from hurried. The quiet hum of expectation starts to build. Across the glass the morning dew begins to form, a crystalline map of the new day. The shadows soften, retreating from the slow, inevitable advance of light. Waiting is not emptiness, but the deep, resonant filling of time with quiet hope. We listen for the turning key, the distant horn, or just the sound of the birds starting their chorus. Oh, dawn, the steady keeper of the promise, where the night finally yields its hold, and the great canvas of the day is unfurled. This gentle, inevitable transition is the rhythm of all we anticipate. A soft, slow climb from darkness to clarity. A delicate arpeggio, like water slowly dripping from a spout, marking the passage of moments, the sound of a spoon gently stirring a cup. This moment is suspended, a fragile glass globe holding all the moments yet to come. The air is still, but everything is preparing to move. The world exhales, a quiet sigh of relief as the color returns. The deep indigo is fading to slate into a soft, promising peach. Every minute is a slow unfolding revelation. The waiting is the most beautiful part of the journey, a meditation on patience and presence. The quiet commitment to stay, to watch the small changes, the incremental growth. The feeling of cool air on the skin, the anticipation, a warm, comforting weight in the chest. A steadfast, unwavering focus on the horizon. The final notes linger, open and unresolved, like the start of a story that has just begun. The full light is here, and the long wait is over, replaced by the warmth of arrival.
Tuned to the pavement outside, listening past the white noise of the city for a specific, familiar cadence. Every heel stride, every gentle shuffle is analyzed for its potential to be the one. The anticipation is a high-pitched hum in the air, focusing all senses on this auditory clue. The waiting has condensed into this moment, where the distance is measured not in miles or minutes, but in the number of beats approaching the door. Oh, footsteps, you are the definitive rhythm of the promised return, the sound that breaks the stillness and transforms quiet hope into immediate reality. You are the music of movement, assuring us that the long pause is ending, and the personal moment we awaited is physically closing in. We hold our breath, letting your steady, accelerating tempo be the final countdown to fulfillment.
classical guitar breaks into a rapid, flamboyant solo section, full of short, exciting runs that suggest a quickening of the pulse and a surge of adrenaline. The rhythm is strong and unwavering, propelling the music forward.
The sound grows louder, clearer, moving from the periphery of hearing to the center of consciousness. It is a triumphant march of commitment, a deliberate, non-rushed approach. The anticipation is almost unbearable in its final stages, turning the comfortable cafe into a high-stakes waiting room. Every sound of movement now carries the weight of history and the promise of the future. The quiet commitment to wait until the very last moment, to not rush to the door but allow the sound to fully complete its journey, trusting the rhythm of the approach to finalize the patient endurance. The patience is a perfect stillness maintained just before the rush of reunion.
The guitar's rapid rhythm suddenly stops on a powerful final, sustained chord, a final single, sharp tap. Sound is heard as if the person has arrived and stopped directly outside the door. The music fades quickly, leaving the silence charged with the electricity of the imminent meeting.
Gaze out across the flat unbroken line where the sky and earth commit to meeting. It is the boundary that constantly moves as we move, ensuring that the full view is always an incremental reward. The waiting is focused on that distant point, that specific section of the canvas where the light is the brightest, signaling a new dawn or a perfect sunset. It represents the hope that lies just over the visible edge, the place where the long journey finds its purpose. You are the symbol of enduring expectation, the shimmering border of possibility that keeps us looking forward. The light there is always a little clearer, a little warmer than the light where we stand. We trust your constancy, knowing that your distance is not a denial, but a motivation to continue the steady, patient approach toward the promise you hold. The waiting is a pilgrimage to your perfect life. Acoustic guitar takes a complex, driving lead melody over the deep, sustained string pads creating a sense of forward momentum and exciting hopeful discovery. The music suggests a journey in progress, not yet complete, but full of beautiful views. The clouds drift slowly toward that distant scene, and the mind travels with them, imagining the land that lies just beyond sight. The anticipation is a powerful, silent energy, a magnet drawing the present moment toward the fulfillment that waits at the edge of visibility. We sit and watch the slow, majestic passage of the day, knowing that the horizon remains firm, a constant marker in the sea of change. The quiet commitment to keep the gaze fixed on the distance, to not be distracted by the small details of the immediate foreground, trusting the geometry of the world, that the path is leading toward that bright, clear line. The patience is built on this grand, sweeping perspective. The music swells one last time, with the strings soaring to a high, optimistic crescendo, and then slowly receding, leaving a sense of vast, quiet space. The final sustained guitar chord fades into the silence, full of the peace of continued, hopeful waiting. We hold the glass frame, protecting the fragile flame from the surrounding air. The light casts a small, perfect circle of visibility, illuminating only what is immediately necessary. The waiting is often done in the dark, but this small light is the assurance that the path, though narrow, is always present. The quiet, consistent glow is a patient promise that the total darkness will never prevail, and the way forward will be revealed, step by slow step. Oh, lantern, you are the steady eye of anticipation, burning brightly through the long, uncertain night. Your warm, gentle light defines the immediate reality and gives courage to face the unknown distance. You teach us that the greatest patience is found in persistence, keeping the flame lit when the waiting feels endless. We trust your glow to guide the way, knowing that the journey's end will be met with the same soft, welcoming light. The slide guitar takes a slow, melodic and slightly mournful lead, its voice soaring and then falling gently, mimicking the slow movement of a light being carried over rough ground. The twisted guitar keeps the anchor of the steady, repeating rhythm. The polished brass reflects the quiet face of the watcher, patient and still, focused entirely on the small, flickering heart of the flame. Every Every gentle flicker is a tiny moment of life, a breath taken and held. The anticipation here is for the moment when the lantern is finally placed down, having served its purpose, marking the arrival at the final safe destination. Quiet commitment to hold the hope steady, to shield the fragile flame from doubt and haste, trusting the gentle persistent light to illuminate the conclusion of the long path. The patience is a steady hand holding the glass. Music slow, the slide guitar fading out entirely. The acoustic guitar repeats the opening motif until the notes become softer and more spaced out, finally vanishing with the gentle sound of a breath being exhaled, leaving the deep, settling peace of the soft, extinguished light.
Repeating pattern on the heart begins, light and delicate, like a music box winding down. The sound is instantly calming and deeply peaceful. Prelude the music of waiting for rest, the gentle promise of sleep. The lullaby is a temporary pause button, an acceptance that the full resolution will come after a period of quiet, restorative anticipation.
The world outside dims its colors, and the need for movement fades into a comfortable, weighted quiet. The notes fall softly like snowflakes settling on a dark blanket. We are waiting for the inner mechanism to slow, for the day's frantic pulse to ease into a steady, profound rhythm. The waiting here is for the self to be renewed, a gentle inward-looking expectation for peace. The darkness holds its breath, promising an eventual bright awakening. Oh, lullaby, you are the sweet sound of patience, sung softly to the restless heart. You teach us that the best waiting is done with closed eyes, trusting the passage of time to mend and restore. The gentle repetition of the melody is the assurance that everything is safe, everything is settled, and the awaited morning is drawing slowly, inevitably closer.
Avaravan takes the lead with a shimmering, slightly detuned melody, giving a sense of the subconscious in the dream world. The harmony is simple but rich, creating a deep sense of warmth and security. The music is almost motionless, existing only to soothe. day are placed outside the perimeter of this quiet room. Each note is a soft push toward letting go, a reminder that active waiting can be exhausting, and sometimes the best preparation is to simply surrender to the pause. The waiting for the future is suspended, replaced by the immediate comforting anticipation of deep rest. Quiet commitment to stillness, allowing the internal clock to recalibrate itself, trusting the gentle, slow drift toward the moment of complete calm. The patience is a soft, warm blanket pulled up to the chin. The harp slows its pace significantly, the notes becoming sparse, separated by long silences. The sound fades to a final sustained, vanishing resonance, like the memory of a dream just before waking, leaving the quietude of deep, settled rest.
We stand on the shore, watching the rhythmic in and out of the water. A perfect metaphor for expectation and fulfillment. Every wave that breaks is a promise kept, and every wave that rolls back out is a promise renewed for its return. The vastness makes the human weight feel small, yet connected to something immense and unwavering. We are waiting for a ship, a message in a bottle, or just the next perfect moment of salty air. Oh, ocean, you are the ultimate keeper of time. Your depths hold secrets and your surface reflects the long wait. The steady hypnotic rhythm of your breath teaches us patience, that all things that leave will eventually be drawn back. We listen to the constant roar, finding comfort in the deep, powerful constancy of the way. The anticipation is a current pulling us towards the eventual meeting. The piano becomes more dramatic and in towers etched gold, reflecting the sudden intensity of a squall, quickly subsiding back into a gentle flowing melody. A strong, sustained drum beat mimics the slow, powerful crash of the breakers on the sand. The sand shifts beneath our feet, a slow geological waiting for change. The water is cool and indifferent to our hurried timelines, operating on epochs We feel the spray on our faces, a physical reminder of the waiting that is taking place outside of the shelter of our cafe walls. A raw, elemental anticipation for connection, the quiet commitment to trust the flow, to know that even when the tide is low and the waiting seems unbearable, the gravitational pull will ensure the return. The patience is wide, deep and salty, echoing the sea itself. Echoing the sea itself. Music softens, the piano repeating the initial gentle wave motif, fading slowly back into the sound of the receding tide. The final note is a low, humming resonance, leaving a sense of vast, peaceful expectation. Paper stock, feeling the texture of the ink pressed onto the photograph. The image is bright, capturing a moment far from here, a scene we are waiting to join or to witness ourselves. The few cramped lines of handwritten text contain a universal meaning, a small update that bridges the long gap of absence. Waiting for a person can be softened by waiting for their words, their small token of remembrance that keeps the connection warm. Oh, postcard, you are the small, tangible comfort in the great expanse of the wait. A silent testament to the distance traveled and the affection that persists across all miles. You prove that even the briefest message can anchor the heart and steady the mind. We study your corners, inhaling the faint scent of the distant place, trusting that the sender is making their way back, just as the card made its way to us. Electric guitar engage in a playful, complex dialogue, trading short, bright licks. The melody is jaunty and optimistic, suggesting a journey full of beautiful sights and positive momentum. The stamp tells a story of its own, a tiny piece of geography that marks the place where the waiting began for the sender. We reread the simple greeting, savoring the concise message, finding depth in the brevity. The cafe table becomes the post office, the center of the world's communication. And we are the dedicated recipient, patiently absorbing the news from the outside. The quiet commitment to hold the piece of paper as a talisman of hope,
a physical reminder that the journey is real and the destination is certain. Trusting the system of delivery, both postal and temporal, to bring the desired outcome. The patience is weighted by the paper in hand. Oh, postcard, you are the small, tangible comfort in the great expanse of the weight. A silent testament to the distance traveled and the affection that persists across all miles. You slows its rhythm, the guitar offering one final warm sustained chord that hangs in the air, full of the satisfied peace of having received a message. The sound fades slowly, concluding the hopeful wait for the word from far away.
We lean back, eyes unfocused, allowing the thoughts to spool out into the quiet air. The cafe fades into a soft blur, and the internal landscape becomes vibrant and detailed. The waiting is transformed into a creative act, where the moment of fulfillment is played out countless times in the imagination. Each scenario rich with possibility. This patient dreaming is the mind's way of preparing for the reality that is yet to arrive. The slow motion rhythm mirrors the pace of thought in a deep daydream. Oh, reverie, you are the quiet, luxurious space within the wave. The gentle, silent film reel of potential futures and smoothed out paths. You teach us that patience is not only stillness, but also the freedom to roam vast internal distances. We trust your hazy promise, knowing that the shape of the desired outcome is often first in the quiet fire of the imagination. The wait is a peaceful internal journey. Synthesize, the loops become more complex and overlapping, creating a disorienting but beautiful sonic web. The rose piano melody breaks its rhythm and drifts into an almost improvised floating passes before slowly snapping back into the established slow cadence. The chair is comfortable, the coffee is warm, and the outside world's noise becomes a muffled, irrelevant hum. The long span of anticipation is spent in this gentle, self-contained world. A quiet bubble of focus where the heart finds its own comforting answers. The waiting becomes a rich, deeply personal experience, far from passive, intensely engaged with the inner landscape. The quiet commitment to allow the mind to wander freely. possibilities without fear or rush, trusting that this internal sorting is crucial preparation for the external reality. The patience is a soft, deep immersion in the dream state. The music slowly drifts apart, the synth loops fading one by one, leaving behind only the soft fading resonance of the road's piano. Suspended and then gently dissolves, concluding the peaceful, profound internal journey. We listen closely to the sound just beyond the window pane, the crackle of dry leaves under an unseen foot, or the turning of an old stiff book page. This music is built on those subtle, almost missed signals. The weight is full of these tiny clues, mere clues, signs of life moving toward us, or the quiet internal motion of a memory being accessed. Patience is required to discern the meaning in these fragile, fleeting sounds. Oh, Russell, you are the delicate announcement of arrival, the soft disturbance in the silence that promises a shift is about to happen. You remind us that the greatest changes often begin with the quietest signals, the crying of focus, deep attention. We wait for your sound to grow into a clear, undeniable presence, trusting the paper-thin sound to carry the weight of expectation. Guitar takes a high, crystalline melody using a short delay effect to create an echoing, repeating quality like a sound bouncing off the walls of a quiet library. The percussion maintains the constant, airy motion, never quite settling. Inside the warm, still cafe, the sound might be the slow crumpling of a napkin, or the gentle movement of clothing as someone settles in to stay. Every small sound is amplified by the silence of the anticipation. The waiting transforms the mundane noises into important indicators, a language only the patient can truly understand. The The quiet commitment to listen deeply beyond the obvious roar of the city, to the fine, delicate static of the moment. Trusting that the most important information will be presented softly, almost secretly. The patience is an ear tuned to the faintest atmospheric disturbance. Percussion fades out piece by piece, leaving only the final faint sound of the shakers. The electric guitar finishes with a high, sustained harmonic that slowly dissolves into the air, concluding the delicate, attentive wait. Watch the edge of the glass, waiting for a figure to pass, a familiar profile against the setting sun or the early morning glow. The silhouette is an incomplete portrait, a hint of the person or the event, enough to fuel the anticipation without revealing the whole truth. It is the form of expectation, a dark defining line against the brightness of hope. Waiting is done in degrees of visibility, and this is the beautiful, suggestive halfway point. Oh, silhouette, you are the promise cast in shadow, the dark, perfect boundary that defines the light behind it. We search your shape for certainty, finding comfort in the simple, unmistakable form of what is approaching. Every moment spent watching your slow advance is a moment of calm, focused attention on the coming revelation. The waiting is crystallized in your elegant fleeting shape. Solo by the saxophone, mournful but ultimately optimistic, exploring the full emotional range of patient anticipation. The bass keeps the steady rhythmic pulse anchoring the melody. The sound swells and then retreats, like a form moving closer and then pausing. The street lamp casts a long, lonely figure on the wet street, a temporary shadow that speaks of movement and destination. We are inside, warm, observing the world's quiet play of light and form. The act of waiting transforms the mundane into the profound. Every passing form, a potential sign, every defined edge, a moment of heightened expectation. The quiet commitment to wait for the details, to not rush the moment of full illumination, trusting that the light will eventually reveal the face, the color, the truth hidden within the shape. The patience is a soft, deep focus on the outline. The bass and saxophone intertwine, slowing down until the rhythm almost vanishes. The final sustained saxophone note fades slowly, leaving behind a warm, dark resonance, like the memory of a figure just stepping out of sight, yet lingering in the mind.